Hello, everyone. My name is Shama. I'm with Girls and Geese. We're back for yet another fantastic edition of our Next Generation series featuring young, up-and-coming jujitsu around the world. Today, we have a very special guest. Her name is Charlotte Stollar. She's all the way from Georgia. She's 12 years old. She's an orange belt. She's training out of independent MMA and fitness. She's been training since the age of 5.5. Not only is she an amazing competitor and athlete, she also maintains a 4.0 GPA. She participates in band, choir, cross country, wrestling, track. Oh my gosh, I'm getting tired of talking about all this. How do you do it?
It's busy.
That sounds
It's always
like
really
it.
busy.
That sounds like it. So you are also, you've competed on a local level. You've been able to go to Florida as well, and you're sponsored by AGF now. How did you start jujitsu? What got you into jujitsu?
So we were supposed, or so my dad was gonna be able to, or he was gonna take me to a judo class one day, and the coach didn't show up, and so we had gone next door to a jiu-jitsu gym, and I tried it out, and I just like fell in love with it, and it was really fun. And then over the years, my dad had joined it too, and then I started getting really good at it, and then I just kept with it, and then
Awesome.
yeah, it just like progressed to this point.
So did you ever go back and do any judo, or was it just jujitsu all the way?
No, it was just jiu-jitsu all the way. Yeah.
Awesome. So if I was sitting here talking to you, you'd be a orange belt in judo maybe by now instead. So that's pretty cool. It's interesting how that happens in life, right? One door
Yeah.
kind of closes, another door opens up. So what's your favorite part about jujitsu?
I think meeting new people and like getting to like travel around the world and stuff like that.
Very cool. Are you a guard puller or are you all about takedowns?
A guard puller
Yeah,
for
me
sure.
too. We get a
Yeah.
tough rap, but you know what? I love the guard.
Yeah.
So if I'm rolling with you, what do I got to watch out for? What's your signature move that your submission that you're working on right now?
Yeah. So like my game plan for every single competition has always been guard, like pull guard, and then spider, and then straight to a triangle. And if that doesn't work, then I do an arm bar.
Nice. Very
So
cool.
yeah. So it's like
So when you first started doing jujitsu at 5.5, I can't remember anything from when I'm 5.5. Did you did you know you wanted to compete or was it just like, oh, this is fun, let's have a good time?
yeah. So I didn't expect to, or I didn't like from what I remember from back then, what I like had intended, I guess, was just to, be able to like do something fun and to like start something. Like I didn't think that I'd become like a higher ranking belt and like actual competing, you know what I mean? I just thought that I was gonna be able to like join it and make friends and that was gonna be it.
So you've been doing it now since you've been 5.5. Have you at any point, so once you started competing, let me ask you this. Do you still get nervous when you compete?
I think yeah. I think that if I go against like new people who I've never met before, yeah, like the nerves like kick in a lot.
So what helps you kind of calm down and get back re-centered to go out there and
I
compete?
Yeah, I'd say normally if I'm really nervous before the match, like I'll do like I'll warm up really well and like like run around and like get some of the nerves sweating out of me. Or I'll go and like talk to them and like become like friends with them. So then I'm like less nervous because like I know them now. You know what I mean? Yeah, I feel like that helps knowing somebody.
Oh, for sure. And some of your best friends come out of jujitsu. Like I know
Yeah,
for me, some of my best friends I've competed against, and it was after we competed that I was like, oh wow, you're awesome. You love jujitsu. I love jujitsu. Let's be friends.
yeah.
So what would you tell other little girls or little boys or adults that maybe are afraid to go out there and compete? What would you tell them to encourage them? What's the benefit of competing and why should they?
I think that the main thing that I've always said to like kids and adults and stuff is like just go out there to have like a fun role and like meet new people and stuff. Because in the end of the day, whether you win or lose, you learn something new during the role. So like if like you pull guard and it doesn't work, you can learn how to do that better and stuff. And like if you do it good, then you can find something, you know what I mean? Like you can find something that you could have done better and stuff like that. So you can always learn from your mistakes and stuff.
100%. Do you remember like what happened in the matches after the matches?
Honestly, I have to go back and watch the videos just to remember like what happened and like how I won or how I lost. You know what I mean? Because
I've been
normally
doing,
I forget.
yep, that's all of us, right? Because we're so busy being in the moment that it's hard to, oh wait, what did I do? So do you study your tapes after with your coaches and your parents? Do you look at it and go, oh, I
Yes.
could have done this, I could have done that?
Yeah, so me and my dad normally like after the match we'll go back home and then we'll like go to the gym the next day and stuff and we'll like look at it and we'll see what we could have done better and then we'll go to the mats and then we'll work on that and get better at that. And then we'll find things that we're really good at and then we'll say, yeah, let's do this more often and let's do this less. Yeah. So I feel like we do, like we go back and we have to watch the videos and redo everything.
That's great though. That's great that you have that support system. Having a parent do it with you is huge. So have you gotten mom to get into it yet?
No, I don't think that mom is gonna ever want to do it. She doesn't really like things being around her neck.
I don't blame her.
He's he's not really into stuff like that.
I would say this, never say never.
Yeah.
It took
I
me.
mean, she does like
Oh, go ahead.
oh sorry. She does like the kickboxing classes and all that stuff. So she's fit, you know what I mean? So like she does stuff too. But
Yeah,
I
that's
feel like she wouldn't
awesome.
ever do jiu-jitsu.
Well, I was going to say is that I've been doing jujitsu now for 20 years, and it took me almost 7 years of being around jujitsu before I ever wanted to get on the mat. Because I thought, no, this is not for me. I don't want to get sweaty and like have other people's sweat dripping in my mouth or my face. You know what? It just took one class, and I did kickboxing for 3 years before. So that's why I say never.
Yeah.
So, what would you say to and that's something that happens to a lot of people. They get there's a lot of different factors why they don't start this journey. And I always say jujitsu is not for everyone, but it's a tool, right? It's a tool that helps us build confidence. It's a tool that helps us, kind of progress in life and teaches us a lot of lessons and how to navigate all the trials and tribulations that we go through. So what would you
Yeah.
tell somebody that is maybe on the fence and maybe kind of like your mom who's like, oh, I'll never do it? Why would you say they should start training?
I feel like jujitsu is one of those sports where it's like self-defense, you know what I mean? So like especially for girls, I think it's really good for girls because like it's like self-defense. So like if like you're ever in danger and stuff, you know what to do because of jujitsu. And like you're used to people like you know what I mean? Like you're used to people like say for instance somebody grabbed your wrist, you'd know how to break that grip and stuff like that. And I feel like everybody should at least try one class and like see if they like it because if they don't like it that's fine but like if they've never tried it before then I feel like they have like nothing to go off of to like be like I don't really like that sport or whatever, you know what I mean, because like they have nothing telling them that they don't like it yet.
100%, 100%. And that's why we do girls and geese events. And I know you've come out to some of them, but we have a lot of women and girls who come who've never trained before,
Yeah,
and it's a really good environment, in my opinion, to start it. So, what is your favorite part about girls and geese events?
I think seeing how many girls actually do the sport because I'm normally only going against boys, and now that I'm getting to an older age, I finally get to see more girls doing the sport. And I feel like going to the girls and geese events, I get to meet new black belts and stuff like that, and that's always cool to meet new people who are high ranked so they can show new moves and stuff that I've never seen before. And then I can pick up on that and like go and like learn more and use those in competitions and win more. You know what I mean? I feel like that's really cool seeing how many girls actually do jiu-jitsu.
Absolutely. And that's what it's all about. It's about us coming together. It's about us coming together in that solidarity and helping and supporting each other and helping to raise that level of what women's and girls jujitsu can be. When I started 20 years ago, there weren't a lot of women and there weren't a lot of little girls doing it. And now I see classes where 50% are all girls in the kids class, which is phenomenal. And I want to ask you, because you're at that age, I see a lot of these little girls, they start off when they're 5, and then they kind of go into like middle school. And for some reason, life just kind of takes them into a different path. You're showing how you can still have jujitsu and you can still have a lot of different interests. What in your opinion, I'm just curious, in your opinion, what do you think are some of the reasons that maybe kids and girls, particularly your age, once they hit your age, they kind of lose interest or go on different paths? Have you seen that? Because I know you say there's not a lot of girls, you're working with the boys
Yeah,
a lot.
yeah. So I feel like so for me, I didn't do jujitsu for I think it was like 3 months or so because I was so busy with so first I did cross country and then I did wrestling and then I did track and stuff and it was an every single day sport and so I had no time to practice or to train and I feel like not training it was like so upsetting to me not being able to go to the gym and see like my coaches and my friends and stuff like that. And so I feel like once you meet those people that like whenever you're not there like you just miss them and like you miss the mats and like you miss rolling and stuff. But I feel like the reason why people like drift away from that is because they find new sports and they're really good at it and they just get so caught up in that sport that they just completely forget about the other sports. You know what I mean? Because like for me, I used to do gymnastics and cheer and stuff, and whenever I started jujitsu, I completely forgot about those sports. I just went straight to jujitsu and stuck there, and I got so good at it that I just kept on progressing to new levels, to where I went from like a student to a assistant coach, and now I'm an assistant coach to a minis class, and it. I feel like someday I can be like the coach, and it's gonna be really cool to do that. You know what I mean? So I feel like the reason why people are drifting away is because they find new things and they just get obsessed with them. You know
Which
what I
is
mean?
okay. Which is okay if they find
Yeah.
other things and they like it. But it is a pattern that I've seen throughout my time in jujitsu. And I think you hit on a lot of really good points. It's about the community and the people in jujitsu that kind of make you want to come back, right? Having that really good support system in your gym, you miss it. There's something to miss to go back to. So you're
Yeah.
coaching. That's really cool. Tell me about that. What's your favorite part about coaching?
So my favorite part about coaching is I feel like it's kind of weird being called like because like they'll call you like coach or something like that, and I'm not used to that, and so it's awkward, and I'm like what? And then they're like, "You're the coach, right?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm sorry," and stuff, and it just makes me laugh because like there's like these little girls that and little boys that like look up to me and stuff, and it's so like new to hear them call me coach. You know what I mean? Because I'm not used to that stuff. Or like whenever like we're going over a move and they'll come up to me and they'll be like, "Hey, can you teach me how to do this and stuff?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure." And I'm not used to that stuff. And so it's kind of funny seeing the way that they like respect coaches and stuff because I feel like being a kid, I didn't think that they'd respect me and stuff. You know what I mean? But they actually do. Like they listen to me, and like if I tell them to do something, then they'll do it and stuff. And I feel like that's really cool to have people to like like listen to you and like actually pick up on what you're saying and stuff. And I feel like being a kid coach definitely helps them understand it because it's coming from like a kid and not from an adult. So I feel like they're like, oh, well, that's a kid. That's my friend. Like, I have to listen to them. You know what I mean? So I feel like it makes it
100%.
easier.
100%. And you have a really unique understanding of where they're at, and where they're at with their journey and how the moves work, right? Because jujitsu is modified for every body type, right? So being smaller and still being a kid, you know how to kind of encourage them and show them what jujitsu kind of how it works for you, right?
Yeah.
Same thing for women, right? Because typically we're a little bit smaller. And so our jujitsu is a little bit more modified, say, than, a 6'4", 280 guy. I mean, not saying that there aren't women that are built like that as well, but that's what's the beauty of jujitsu is it can be modified. It's an evolution, right? Um,
Yeah.
So that's cool. You know what? That is one of our big goals here at Girls and Geese is not only to bring women and girls together, but to put more females at the front of the room, which is pretty awesome that you're getting to do that at 12. Imagine where you're
Yeah.
going to be in another 10 years when you're 22 and you have your black belt. Like, so what are some of your goals in jiu-jitsu? Do you want to teach long term, or I know you're
Yeah.
12, you got a lot of time to figure it out.
Yeah, so whenever I grow up, I think that the first thing that I want to do whenever I get out of high school is I definitely think that I want to start a gym with my friends. So like some of my friends are in seventh and eighth grade, and so our plan, we've already made up a plan. So the seventh and eighth graders, they're gonna go to business school and get a degree in business. And then everybody else is gonna get a job and make a bunch of money for the gym. And then and then I'm gonna be the head coach, and then they're all gonna help me at the gym and stuff. And then one of them wants so one of them also wants us to do like a minis class, like how my gym does it right now. So they want us to do like
Uh-huh.
a minis class, and then a kids class, and then an adults class and stuff. And then so I feel like I definitely want to be able to coach or like own my own gym whenever I'm older, or because like I'm hoping that so my one goal in jiu-jitsu is to get my black belt whenever I turn 22 or 23. So I feel like if I have my black belt at a younger age than normal, you know what I mean, like normal people, then I feel like that's going to give me more advantages because I feel like I can do more stuff with a younger black belt, or you know what I mean, like a
Mhm.
younger person with a black belt. I feel like I have more advantages because I can like do more stuff, and you know what I mean. So I
Yeah,
feel like whenever I grow up, I just want to own a gym and stuff. I think that'd be really cool and fun.
heck yeah, dude, you got it all figured out. You know how I was 24 when I started jujitsu? Like I was behind the curve. You're already thinking way ahead. That's
Yeah.
phenomenal. See, and that's what I love seeing is I love seeing, and that's why we do these segments, is I love seeing young girls like yourself shooting for the stars, and that's amazing that you have these huge ambitions and these dreams that's so young, and you got a crew of like people to do it with, because it takes a village. It's not just one person doing it, it's a whole bunch of people doing it. So that is
Yeah.
awesome. I'm so glad I got to talk to you. That's super cool. It makes me happy you guys figured it out.
Yeah.
So what are some of your immediate goals? What are we going to see you doing in 2023, 2024?
So this year, I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna be going to Pans in Florida, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna be going to Kids Pans. And then
Nice.
next weekend, I have Tap Cancer out, in Marietta. And then I have other little like AGF competitions in between there. And then the week before Pans, I have an AGF competition to get like a warm up for Pans. And then I'm going to be going to Pans with some of my other teammates and friends. And then in between there, I feel like I'm probably going to start maybe trying to do the adult class to get more of like a what's the word, a harder training, so that I
Mm-hmm.
can like prepare myself more for Pans, because Pans is a really big competition for me,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm so excited for that.
Oh, the pans are fun. And the kids' pans are even more fun. That
Yes.
is really cool. Do you know who my favorite when I was first coming up, my favorite training partner was this 14-year-old boy because I'm small. I was smaller back then. And man, yeah, go roll with the adults. You're gonna smoke them. You kids are the ones we're afraid of
Yes.
as adults. Seriously. But awesome. Well, that's cool. And you know what? It's so awesome that you have such a supportive group of adults and kids that are there pushing you, because that's really what it takes to make it in this world, is having that village behind you, pushing you and encouraging you to go forward. So I'm so happy you have that, because not only are you just already super confident and know what you want, you have a good group of people that are helping you make that happen. And that's so, so important. So I'm going to close out with
Yeah.
one last question. If you could
Yeah.
go anywhere and train with anybody, who and where would that be? I know there's a long list.
Okay.
You can do a couple.
So
I'll give you a couple.
Okay. So my number 2 people that I want to train with is probably I'd have to say Alex Enriquez and Phelan, because those 2 girls, I look up to them because I feel like I see them all the time at competitions and they're doing so well in the world and stuff and in the jiu-jitsu community that I want to like train with them more often. And because I've done a seminar with them before and it was amazing. Like they taught me so many cool new things. And it was so cool seeing them like in action live because I feel like they're such cool people. So I just
Yeah.
like to, like learn new things that they like to do that I like to do too. So those are my top 2 people. And then the one place that I want to go in the world is I want to see if they have gyms in like Tokyo because I've always wanted to
Ooh.
go to Tokyo and I want to train there. So I feel like that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Like Tokyo,
There
that'd be so cool.
there are, you know what? There are actually, and there's quite a few female black belts in Tokyo that have been around for a while. So if you ever go there, you hit me up and I'll connect you with some of them and then you can go train. I mean, that's the birthplace
Yeah,
of jujitsu, right? Jujitsu originally came from Japan and then was introduced to Brazil. And then that's what we train now is
yeah.
Brazilian jiu-jitsu. But there's a lot of similarities. It's different, but there's still a lot of similarities, But
Mhm.
that's cool. Japan is good. Oh man, the food is amazing. I live in Hawaii where we have tons of Japanese food. Oh, I love it. Very cool. Well, I'm so happy to God had this opportunity to chat with you. It's such a pleasure. Um, Thank you to your parents as well for having you do this. And we look forward. I'm going to be looking out for you. I think you're going places. You're a
Thank
part of that
you.
generation where you started training jujitsu so young. And if you guys stick with it, you're going to raise that bar for where jujitsu is, capable, what people are capable
Yeah,
of in jujitsu and show the world, what jujitsu is
yeah.
all about. So bravo to you. Bravo. You keep
Thank
killing it.
you.
Have fun and, just
You too.
enjoy the journey. Like I always tell everyone, it took me 20 years to get my black belt. So even if you don't hit that 22 years old, you know what? It's okay. It's going to come. Have a good time hitting. Have a good time doing jujitsu. And maybe you'll hit it earlier. You never know. You never know. So thank you again, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of this discussion. Look forward to, like I said, look forward to see where you're going. You're definitely going places, kid.
Thank you. It was really nice meeting you.
You too. I hope to get to see you at an event in Georgia when I'm out there next time.
You too.